want to tell you, I was interviewed once by someone, it was earlier this year, who said, well, I get about Junia and having your mother's name, but what if having your mother's name is painful because she went through a painful life? And I said, and that is a great question. And that has to be a journey that that individual has to go through, in terms of, like, for instance, and I'm sure my dad wouldn't mind, he wasn't in the his father he and his father wasn't there for him when he wanted to, when he needed him. He made promises, my grandmother and my grandfather got divorced, that kind of stuff. And he was very, very angry at that. And it was my mother who said, this is your father. Let's get to know him. He needs to know his grandchildren. So we ended up meeting him. But the beauty that comes from this, and that's why I encourage people, in life, we're going to have pain. We're humans. It's going to happen. The question is, how do you take that pain and turn it into something positive? And what my dad did was, he would have loved to have his father there all the time, but he just wasn't. So my dad vowed himself to be the best husband and the best father he could be. And he wanted to be 180 degrees different than his father, because basically my grandmother raised him as a single mom. It took my mother to kind of help him get there, but he got there. And I tell you, he has been the best. And so, and maybe that people need that kind of help through therapy. Maybe of their own they can't, and that's fine. And if it is too painful, then just don't dwell on it and move on. But I encourage people to try to take pain and make it into, what do they say? Make lemonade out of lemons, that kind of thing.
Right,
Turn it around. And if
exactly.
nothing else, just say, vow to not be that person. I'm going to be better than that.
Right. Take that mess and turn it into a message, or that,
Yeah.
that painful part. And there's a way to make it a blessing. It's something we can learn from, and yeah, carry on that positive side of it. There's always something
Mhm.
good that comes
Mhm.
from a bad situation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Right. Yep. I love
Mhm.
that. So as we wrap up, Dr. Tamara, as Junia continues to grow as a movement, what is your hope for how families, communities, and even future generations will think differently about maternal legacy?
Oh, yes. I love this question. Thank you for that. My vision and my hope is that Junia becomes that it grows to the same level as Junior. And what do I mean by that? I mean that when a daughter is born, that being a Junia becomes an option. It becomes an option. So you have a piece of paper, you have your iPad, your phone, whatever, with 5 names, potential names. My hope is that one of those 5 is the name of the mother. That is just under consideration, like it is for Junior. It'd be great if it was even more, but that's all I want. Do I expect every daughter to be a Junior? Absolutely not. I just want it to be under consideration, and I want mothers to consider it an option with pride and not think, oh gosh, people think I'm arrogant, etc. And then I also hope that spouses, partners, friends actually support that mother if that's what she wants to do. So that's my vision, to just be a consideration.
Right. I love that. And know that option's there. And yeah,
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with that.
And
Yeah,
there's
I
nothing
love it.
wrong with that. We should not make excuses for that. I mean, we find that now women are thinking about that. They're thinking about, like, why do we have this tradition? Why is it only for men and not for women? And I love that about, this new generation, and they're challenging traditional perspectives and norms.
Right. I love that.
Mhm.
Wow, that's beautiful.